Recognizes the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Huizenga, the Vice Chairman of the Monetary Policy and Trade Subcommittee.
Thank you. Chair Yellen, did short-term proprietary trading cause the financial crisis?
I wouldn't say that short-term proprietary trading was the main cause of the crisis.
I'm sorry, it was not?
I would not see that as the main cause of the crisis.
I think we would be in agreement on that. You have noted, I think as December 10, just this past year, at the Open Meeting Board, you had some concerns about the Volcker Rule as well. And to quote you, you specifically asked for an, quote, assessment of what impact do you, and I'm presuming that's your own internal economist, think this will have on U.S. banks in terms of do they face potential competitive disadvantages vis-a-vis foreign banks in various global capital market activities. I have some of those same concerns, and I'm not sure, as we had the 5 regulators, the Fed, the SEC, OCC, FDIC, and CFTC. For those of you watching out there, that's the alphabet soup of regulators that look at all of this. The discussion of the Volcker Rule and the impact, Governor Tarullo seemed to indicate that the Fed was very concerned about that, that we were not going to somehow be at a disadvantage, and I'm not sure we've made ourselves any safer. Do you mind chatting a little bit about that, please?
So I think the impact of the rule is something that we will monitor over time as it goes into effect. The agencies have worked hard jointly to write a balanced rule that will permit banking organizations to continue to engage in critical market making and hedging activities, and very careful in how they supervise institutions to make sure.
Well, I'm sure you're aware we're the only sort of major economy, major government that has put anything like this into effect. You're comfortable saying, I think the quote was, monitor over time to see its effect. How long are you comfortable waiting to see what will happen? Is it 3 months, 6 months, a year? How long will we see liquidity leave the United States and us lose that market share?
Well, I think that banks will be able to go on, as we implement this rule, to engage in those activities, particularly market making and hedging, that are really vital to a well-functioning financial system.
Well, is there a length of time? That's what I'm looking for. How long are you interested in waiting to see its effectiveness? I mean, it's 932 pages. 297,000 words. There's a lot to wade through and a lot of interpretation.
Well, we will be involved with the OCC and the SEC and other agencies in using supervision to make sure that firms do comply with the rule. So,
but an undetermined amount of time to see its effectiveness.
Well, it will certainly take time to see what the effects of the rule are.
Okay. I'll follow up with a letter, because I'd like you to put a little thought into exactly how much time. How long are we going to be at a competitive disadvantage is what I'm concerned about. All right. We're going to have to move along because I've got just over a minute. In response to quantitative easing, foreign governments have adopted measures that have closed foreign markets to U.S. investors and companies in many ways, and is what was talked about at that very table. The Fragile Five, Indonesia, India, South Africa, Turkey, as well as Brazil, have been affected by our monetary policy, and now it's just the sort of the reversing of our easing, I guess, as you would say, as we're not purchasing as many. Do you have any concerns that poorly managed tapering that we're trying to do, or exit of QE, might cause capital flight in some of these other economies as well? And what would that mean for investors and firms here in the United States? I'm concerned that not to mention our diplomatic and trade relations, we are of an interconnected world economy. So,
well, certainly capital markets are global, and the monetary policies of any country affect other countries in such a world. But we have been very clear at the outset that we initiated our program of asset purchases and an accommodative monetary policy more generally to pursue the goals that Congress has assigned to the Federal Reserve, namely supporting economic growth and employment in the context of price stability. We have tried to be as clear as we possibly can about how we would conduct this policy, and it's been quite clear at the outset that as our recovery advanced, that we would wind down or reduce the pace of our asset purchases, and as growth picks up and inflation comes back toward our objective over time, that eventually we will normalize our policy stance.
The time of the